Listen, I'm easy to find. And then they can kiss my ass.
What's up, y'all? Nathan back with another video presentation. Welcome to Season 9 of Big Nate Sports Talk. I hope you're all well. Hope you're all staying safe. Hope you had a great weekend. Happy Taco Tuesday. Hope everybody had a wonderful Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Also, happy Juneteenth. Hope everyone had a great restful weekend. Did something fun. Got out, enjoyed this beautiful weather. I know here on the East Coast, it's very beautiful. It's like in the 70s for a few days. Before I get into the video, there's a few things I'd like to say up front. You should see the first 15 episodes of Season 8 up on Spotify. We're halfway there. I just got to get the rest of Season 8 uploaded. I'll work on that this evening and also get this episode up. Be tuned in. I'm going to go live a little later after this video. The Washington Mystics, they have a late game tonight, the West Coast. 10:30 game against Los Angeles Sparks is our first West Coast trip, so be tuned in for that. I'll go live for the preview after the pre-game availability. I don't know if we'll be up for that one, but I'll be up. But more importantly, just be tuned in for those two episodes. Those are the only two episodes y'all going to get today. And I don't know, Season 9, I'm see what's going to happen. Don't know what to expect. Like I said, football is upon us. Do be on the lookout for another NBA mock draft 2.0. The draft is coming up, so we definitely be tuned in for that. But other than that, I mean, you see the title of the video. I want to give a shout out to Sean Spencer. He asked me how I watched the documentary 30 for 30 Dream On with the women's national Team USA basketball team. I had not watched it because it was hard to really make time for that. Watching the Mystics, the Orioles, and the playoffs, it was just crazy to keep up with. So I had the opportunity to sit down, really watch it. I thought it was a very, very, first and foremost, a very powerful three-part series. For a lot of people, the 1990s, in my opinion, the 1996 USA Women's National Basketball Team set the tone for what the WNBA is today. Those that were on that team, Dawn Staley, Lisa Leslie, Miss McGee, JaVale McGee's mom, I forgot her name, top of my head, Teresa Edwards, Rebecca Lobo. They set the tone they had for what the WNBA is today. Most of them are Hall of Famers. For what they've gone through, the work that they put in, coached by the great coach Tara Vanderveer. Shout out to Erica McCall, Stanford's finest. Great documentary. But let's just get into it. So, the title really caught my eye. Dream On. I interpreted that many ways, but the documentary, it really, really explained the journey of these women through their off and on the court. If you remember, they 1990 and really before the Dream Team in '92, I believe it was the 1988 Olympics. I believe John Thompson, rest in peace, coached that team. And there's always been this debate about you should not send your best players. You should send college, amateur. You can have a couple top players go to the Olympics. Before that, guys didn't do that. I know Isaiah Thomas, was very vocal about not doing it. But the 1992 Dream Team, FIFA, they had changed the rules about, joining, of the requirements. And, we all know Bird, Magic, Mike, Chuck Barkley, Patrick Ewing, Malone, Stockton. We all know what that did for the global basketball community. Now, the 1992 Olympics women's team, they took home bronze. And the next year was 96. And, it the fact when the the way how their stories were, just telling us who they were, what their journeys. Example, Lisa Leslie scoring 101 points and a half, you know, just what they've done. You know, I mean, there's so many adjectives I can say. Talent, determination, they're very poised, all those different things. I mean, they raised the bar, and I feel like really with sports today, media is the optics. And I'm gonna get a little bit. I'm hold on. Just remember that word optics a little bit. But if you remember, you know, uh, going into the '90s, uh, women's basketball was starting to grow. College game, the Final Four was on TV because obviously at the time Tennessee, the great Pat Summitt, uh, Coach Vanderveer, and then Coach Gino, UConn. Um, it was on the rise. You know, Again, as I stated, we were not caught up with the times. Like I said, the 92 team took home bronze. The last time that happened was 1976. Um, Same thing in '94, the FIBA World Championships. The men we lost to Brazil, and at the time, like just knowing what they decided to do. Like let me break it down. So in the first part, uh, Lisa Leslie and I remember Lisa Leslie and Dawn Staley, they tried out for the team. They didn't make it. Um, I believe Lisa talked about, if I remember correctly, she wanted to try out ahead, but they talked about how it while them being cut, um, and they went on to play in the '94 U.S. '94 team, and they made the tryouts for the '96 team. Um, Jennifer Ozzie, she also tried for the summer games in '92. She also made the team in '96. What's this? Hey, Michelle, good to see you. Karen, what's good, bro? Happy Tuesday. Same to you, Michelle. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What else happened? It's also ironic. That was and I remember I can remember part one. Part two, same thing. Uh, the U.S. team, they went and played college, different women basketball teams, different women's college basketball teams, because their reasoning for doing it is that they wanted to show that they could play at a professional level versus a collegiate level, which I think that's stupid. I mean, I remember the men, they lost to, I think it was Chris Webber, I think Grant Hill. They lost to college guys in a scrimmage, and that doesn't get talked about. I mean, it does, but it doesn't get talked about the way how I saw the documentary. It was kind of weird. Like they played each college where the players came from. Now, Coach Vanderveer, I remember she said that she didn't pick a player as a starter when they played against their school. So like Dawn Staley, she didn't start. Random example. And I think also too, she talked about that. That's just her method of coaching. And what was really good about part two, you really kind of start getting more digging beneath the surface. There were always talks about creating a National Women's Basketball League. In 1965, I remember in the documentary, it was the All American Redheads. It was a hard-golden team that didn't last long. Then in the 70s, women's basketball league that didn't fall through. And then the '90s, there was something called the Ladies Basketball Association, or the LBA. Same thing. Media, mainstream media, didn't want to push it. Um, just different things like that. So we look on to part three of it. Now, they needed a 12th player, and that player was Venus Lacey, um, who definitely was a key part of winning that gold medal for them. Um, Now, what was kind of ironic in part three, they talked about the '96 um, Centennial Olympic Park bombing. Uh, it's interesting, and they talked about it kind of for something how Lisa explained it. Dawn Lisa kind of said, she kind of just went like it happened so fast. Because if you remember, there's actually a movie that came out about that. There was a security guard that was accused, and it later turned out that he wasn't the suspect behind the bombing that killed. I want to say 2 people. I forgot how many people were wounded in that terrorist attack. Um, but there was this talk about, do you carry on? Do you carry the Olympics? And Bill Clinton, who was the president at the time, um, said, they all agreed like the show must go on. And it's interesting to really see once again perseverance. You know what these women, they set the tone. Like again, like as I said, going into the '90s, Olympic basketball for America wasn't at the greatest. Like I said, losing bronze in Seoul '88 after winning in '84 and '88 gold, and then '92 in bronze. But a lot of that, no, I'm sorry, they won bronze in '88. I'm sorry, '84 they won gold. I'm sorry, I take that back. But the documentary, when you watch it, and I suggest you do, understand that what these 12 women did for not only their communities, but more importantly, for the game of basketball. The tone that they set, what they've done, um, all of them have chosen their paths respectively. You've got a good chunk of them becoming coaches. Uh, I'm of the belief that this was sisterhood. You know, 50 years ago, Title IX was passed. Um, the opportunities for women in sports and society, um, like it's just pay attention to the growth of women's basketball and the barriers that were broken. Um, Coach Ackerman, like to me, like it's about giving them flowers. You talked about giving them with a sense of appreciation. Like it's crazy. Like what like when you hear like the stories that are not being told properly by the W. Like I think it's silly that we're now 26 years into the WNBA and the story of Cheryl Swoops not being properly told. Lisa Leslie. We have an issue. We have Sylvia Follows, who's retiring at the end of this year, and Sue Bird retiring. The optics in the media. Why is Sue Bird getting appraisals and on all these made on around the media and Sylvia Follows, she's barely talked about. Look at Sylvia Follows' accomplishments and look at Sue Bird. Both great players, but it's the optics. Like I've said it, I'll continue to say it again. Like I'm to continue on that. Cheryl Swoops. I remember there was a clip shot of Christina Williams, a clip of her at a conference. Cheryl Swoops talked about how, when her time was coming at the end of her, at the W, they kind of said thank you for your services, and kind of just kicked her to the curb. We had to do a better job at telling their stories. How the WNBA was founded. This is where the where the WNBA is, and this is where it's going to be forever. I just find it very, very appalling that I've said it before and I'll say it again. I tell people all the time, just watch one game. One game. You don't have to get season tickets. You don't have to like it. Just watch one game. I think we're so, because again, it's a male-dominated society. I get it, but it's interesting. I saw a lot of a lot of things on social media. Once the Warriors won the championship, basketball is over. No, it's not over. Basketball is year-round, whether we like that or not. I think the perception of what the league is has been what the league is. People don't give it a chance. Like I've said this before, I'm gonna say it again. How could you criticize the W when you look at the NBA? Like this past season, I saw the NBA team lose by 73 points. Is that competitive basketball? No, that's embarrassing. They look at these guys today, like you got guys that are sitting out and making tons of money and not on the court. That's not a product I'd watch. You're paying an NBA player $47 million and he's sitting on your bench doing nothing. Here's a small league, 12 teams, 144 women, that if not are just better. They compete every night. They don't cheat you out of effort. Watch the game, just one game. I tell people that all the time. Like I told people, I said this in an episode a while ago. I've had people that watch my podcast say, you should stop talking about the W because no one gives 2 cents about it. One of my friends said, hey, your podcast is great. I turn it off as soon as you talk about the missing to the W. I find them interested in it. And some people go, hey, you're my news source for the W. Because I'm going to take my platform, whether people like it or not, and I'm going to help tell the stories, and more importantly, show my support for women's basketball. Not just men's basketball, but women's basketball too, whether we like that or not. Like, to see the opportunities and to see where women's basketball is, a lot of it starts with the 96 basketball team. A lot of it has to do with that. And we have to give them their flowers. I mean, Cheryl Swoops, Lisa Leslie, Teresa Edwards, Carla McGee, that's her name, Katrina McLean Johnson, Jennifer Azzi, Rebecca Lobo, Nikki McCrae, Katie Stedding, Venus Lacey, Coach Vanderveer. Those 13 women, they've set the tone for what women's basketball is today. The sacrifices that they've made, there should be an appreciation for that. There should be flowers. Like, go look at it. Watch the documentary. I mean, just the hard work and determination. And to win a gold medal on your own soil. Even Lisa Leslie said something that I found really profound, and it's true. What's going on? Good to see you. Good to see you. Where she said, I'm just paraphrasing, as a black athlete, you don't get recognized by your own country. That really stings. And if you look at Sylvia Follows, she's not getting the recognition in the media. It's the optics. I understood what she meant by that, because I'm putting the blood, sweat, and the tears. I'm representing my country. When I come back, I don't get a, hey, great job. I'll give you an example. The 1938 Olympics was in Berlin. It was in 36. One of those 2 years was in Berlin. Jesse Owens said he didn't feel snubbed. I'm paraphrasing it. He was more offended that Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who was the president, didn't even call or say, hey, congratulations. Great job bringing a gold medal home for our country. He felt more snubbed by FDR than Adolf Hitler. Go do your research. But I'm just saying, at the end of the day, this documentary was powerful. I suggest you watch it. These 12 women, they set the tone for what women's basketball is. Whether you don't like it, whether people like it or not, the W is not going anywhere. It's just the beginning. But we have to do a better job of telling the stories. We have to do better at helping the league grow. And more importantly, hey, watch the games. That's it. Just support. That's not hard. Like, I know tonight, watch the Mystics are going to be on TV. I know I'm watching that. I had the opportunity to be on Zoom to see 3 Mystic ball players, the first class going to the Hall of Fame. I couldn't ask them a question. Muriel Page, Vicky Bullitt, and Shamik Holdsclaw. I can ask questions because we have audio issues. But to see what they've done for the Mystics, the tone that they set for the franchise, they deserve their flowers. So do these 12 women. So do these women currently in the WNBA. Because without those 12 women from 2016, there would be no Maya Moore. There would be no Candace Parker. There would no be Diana Taurasi. There wouldn't be no Brittney Griner. Wouldn't be any of that without those 12 women. I also, too, wanted to say it's been 125 days, 124, since Brittney Griner has been wrongfully detained in Russia. I'm not opposed to having the number 42 for the jerseys for the All-Star game. I do have a couple questions in terms of the jerseys, the hoodies I've seen. Where is that money going? Is that going to a foundation? Which I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure her family knows that. Because I thought it was interesting. I know that her wife, their anniversary just passed, and her wife said they tried to call her numerous times to no avail. Nobody picked up at the embassy. I thought that was very, very telling. But I just let you know of our relations between us and Russia. Number 2, we have a responsibility in our communities to do some work for ourselves. Lucinda, good to see you. Good to see you. Have a responsibility. I do believe she will be home. I kind of feel like there's been confusion that we're not being informed. I think we're starting to learn things day by day, like to know that her wife actually called and nobody tried to get them in contact together. That was something new. They're going to try again, I believe, tomorrow, from what I read. The fact that she can get letters and emails. I said that because her next hearing is on the 2nd of next month. I want to say it's July 2nd or something like that. But I do think we have people that are in certain positions of power that can do more. I do think I said the same thing with the Jacob Blake situation, and I'll say this again: wearing the T-shirt and tweeting out Revit is not enough. We have to start holding people accountable. There are people who are in positions of power that can do more, but also too, it's up to us as a community to make sure we get reform and hold those people accountable. Same thing. Whether what happened in Texas, we got to start holding people accountable. If people aren't going to get the job done, let's get somebody else in those positions of power and hold them to get the job done. I do proclaim that she will be home, but it's interesting to see the kind of cards that are being played, to kind of see them saying, "Well, we want this we'll give you her for this." And it's like, are you willing to give that up? And I think that's very, very, very crazy. But I want to play this clip, and we're going to end the video. I want you guys to pay attention to this. Where's it at? Yeah, hold on.
There are 144 players in the league.
My hope for the future of the league is that it gets the representation that it deserves. I want the league to just grow as far as viewership and fan base.
I want them to know the whole 144.
There's so much talent.
I'm inviting this guy to the game. You should come watch the NBA game. Why should I come watch? Do you jump as high as LeBron? I said, no. Well, do you run as fast as LeBron? I said, no. Well, why should I come watch you play? I said, well, sir, I do run fast and I jump higher than you.
These are amazing athletes.
And in a way, you kind of look at the W like as your sisters, your mom, your aunts, like friends. And we deserve to have our stories told.
This is bigger than sport.
We have dedicated our lives to this.
And we just want to be represented.
If we focus more on the W, the art of the talent, the art of the women's game, people can appreciate and respect how good we are on the court.
Lisa Leslie, Diana Taurasi, Sue Bird, Angel McCautry, Candace Parker. You know, the GOATs. They got it out the mud. That's what makes it beautiful, is they did it for us and now we're doing it for them. The legacy of the W, you're doing this to inspire the person, the little kids under you. And that's what makes it special. The fact that there are people looking at you like they're idol. You're that person inspiring them.
It's a huge task and responsibility to wear that name across your chest. But we are here.
We are leaders.
We are change.
We are passionate.
We are mothers.
We are sisters.
We are strong.
We are
The W.
So, with that being said, that's going to end the video. Like I said, check it out. Documentary 30 for 30 Dream On. You can access it. Check it out. I strongly recommend it. It was a great series. But with that being said, I'm going to sign out. I will see y'all in about 9 o'clock. About 9:45. I'll see y'all on the next. I'll catch you on the flip side.
Because, you know, it is what it is. It's so great to be great.
Listen, I'm easy to find.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.
And listen, they can kiss my ass if they don't like it.